Now on CoastTV News.
Ice on cars.
It is dangerous. If you have it on your roof and you brake.
A law that could penalize drivers.
Watching for erosion.
Mother Nature is going to do what she wants to do.
Sussex County's coastline could change this weekend.
Helping our seniors.
We do as much service as we can ahead of time.
Local organizations check on the elderly ahead of more winter weather.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Cars are still covered in snow and ice. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. Our top story tonight, the lingering effects of these consecutive cold days.
Yeah, take a look at this. It's a shattered windshield from a chunk of ice that flew off a truck and seriously injured the passenger in the car. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Milton. And Emma, that lasting cold makes clearing off cars even more important.
Maddie, it's now been days since snowfall, but it's still frozen all around, and this wasn't that light, fluffy snow. We now have large, heavy chunks of ice, practically weapons if you get in your car and it still looks like this. Taking a few extra minutes to clear off your car can maybe even save a life. This is a shattered windshield, busted and broken by a chunk of ice that flew off a truck in Georgetown Thursday. One of the people inside was taken to the hospital with multiple cuts on her face.
It is a missile. It can be very sharp.
Doug Butler with Georgetown EMS says all of these conditions combined have made the ice even more dangerous.
The wind will freeze it, and then as you're moving, the actual movement of the vehicle will cause it to come free on the top of the vehicle, and it will send it sailing, and it's hard, and it can bust the windows out and injure people very severely.
Paul Olson, who lives in the area, says this is why he stays inside after storms.
It is dangerous. If you have it on your roof and you brake, it's going to slide forward and completely block your view. You're not going to be able to see anything. You're going to be in the middle of traffic, and you're going to be out there trying to scrape it off with your hands or whatever.
Butler says cleaning your car off is critical for multiple reasons.
I think the thing that people don't realize, they think it's okay not to clean their cars off, but in actuality can cause a lot of other problems as they drive their vehicles and ice comes off. For people to run over it, it can cause accidents and all kinds of stuff. That's why it's so important that they clean the top of their car and the vehicle off before they drive it.
A reminder that winter hazards don't stop when the snow does. It is important to note that while keeping your distance when driving behind other cars, especially during a weather event, is a good idea. In this case, the car and the truck were actually going in opposite directions, meaning, again, the best thing here is just to clear off your car before hitting the road. Reporting live in Milton tonight, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Moments like that are leading to some Delaware lawmakers taking action. Bill 233, which was introduced yesterday, would fine people for not clearing snow and ice off their cars. One of the bill's sponsors says it will hopefully keep Delaware roads a little bit safer if that bill passes. The bill is now being reviewed in the Environment, Energy, and Transportation Committee.
This brings us into our Coast TV poll. We want to know what is hardest about winter driving.
Let's take a look at the results so far. 80% say icy roads, 2% say frozen wipers, 18% say slow traffic. We've got a little bit of a change there since 5 o'clock.
We also have a comment. This is from Ron in Georgetown, who says, so ready for spring. And I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah, we are all on Team Ron there. And if you haven't voted yet or left a comment, please do so, coasttv.com or our app, and we'll update you tonight at 11. As this next round of winter weather comes in this Sunday on our app, we'll have a broadcast with our sister station WBOC. That's Sunday morning at 8 and then 6 p.m. Sunday. But we are back on the air Sunday night at 11. And of course, we're here Saturday. You can watch any of our newscasts on TV without cable just by downloading our app, and then you stream it on Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV.
Some of our viewers will remember this. During October's nor'easter, several beach entrances were heavily eroded in Bethany Beach. Those were fixed in November, but with heavy winds, rough surf, all expected this weekend, erosion could eat away at those newly repaired crossovers.
The most we'd be doing this weekend is kind of watching, observing, and if we do get any erosion, we may have to close some crossovers.
Mayor Khalif does not think any repairs will be needed, but if they do, he believes that DenRect will fund them just like they did in late November.
The Indian River Volunteer Fire Company has its gear gathered ahead of the coastal storm. Some struggles in the district are tight neighborhood streets, which have lots of snow. Also, low-hanging power lines. That's a typical struggle for fire trucks. CoastTV spoke with the fire department, who says that cold creates challenges before they can even get out of the firehouse.
It's our ability to traverse to the station dealing with ice and roadway hazards. It also impacts our ability with apparatus, pumps freezing, water freezing, making sure the apparatus is operational and able to be utilized if needed.
Miller reminds people be safe, especially when using space heaters inside to stay warm. Let's take a live look outside into Rehoboth Beach. Still snow on the dunes and the boardwalk there. Our First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey joins us now with a look at our forecast.
Good evening, Maddie. The coldest day of the year so far today. We set a new cold record high of only 20 degrees. So that's why we have this cold weather advisory. It continues all the way through the weekend into Sunday morning for all of Delaware, including Sussex County, the Eastern Shore, and then farther south too, across areas around Dorchester, Somerset, Wycomico, and Worcester counties until early Sunday. You really want to be careful out there. Make sure you cover your exposed skin. You don't want frostbite. You don't want to fool around with this kind of cold. 18 in Millsboro, 17 Long Neck, 21 in Lewis right now. We have a northwesterly breeze, not especially strong, but it's knocking those wind chills down to 8 in Dagsboro, 8 in Lewis right now. Feels like 18 in Georgetown. We are seeing some high clouds increasing now. That's ahead of the area of low pressure that we're watching for this weekend, already spreading snow across the Tennessee Valley into North Carolina. A lot of the models are taking the snow south of us, but we already have a winter weather advisory for parts of the Eastern Shore and farther south, and even a winter storm warning southern tip of Delmarva, as we'll see the clouds increasing as we go through the overnight and just bitterly cold as we go into the morning hours. You can see on the wind chill chart that we're falling through the single digits, just above zero tomorrow morning. Very cold and then stormy. A little bit of snow, but bigger coastal impacts with the storm on Sunday. I'll have much more on that coming up a little bit later on.
Another bitter cold night is putting pressure on shelters and warming options across the shore. Some established shelters already full, so cold weather shelters and warming centers are becoming a critical backstop. Some agencies say the demand spikes when temperatures drop, and the biggest goal is simply getting people inside before it turns dangerous.
Go to those shelters, take advantage of those opportunities. Because I went out last night. I said, man, it's cold out here. It is cold. And so it's too cold to be sleeping in the tent. It's too cold to be under the bridge.
If somebody shows up after 7 p.m., the guidance from the town is to contact the Ocean City Police for an escort into the shelter.
A federal judge has ordered a disabled Ecuadorian man in Seaford to be returned to his home country in Ecuador. A judge denied Victor Acurio Suarez's asylum application, according to his attorney. The developmentally disabled immigrant was taken into custody by ICE back in September while trying to find a job at a Lowe's parking lot.
There's no family they have left in Ecuador to care for him. Victor is unable to live independently. He's always been in the care of his brother, and they're very concerned. We're not even sure exactly what it would look like. In fact, Victor and the family fled after the gang set their house on fire, so he doesn't even have a house to return to in Ecuador.
The attorney says she's already appealed the judge's decision denying Acurio Suarez asylum. Now, Delaware Governor Matt Meyer, U.S. Senator Lisa Blunt Rochester, and U.S. Representative Sarah McBride have also all asked for Acurio Suarez's release. And we're just getting started this evening.
A new scam hitting Delaware drivers, what the DMV says you need to watch out for.
A new record cold high today, only 20. The previous was 24 back in 2012. We had a low of 10 with the record low of 5 below back in 2014. Congratulations to Wayne Spitzner from Lewis, winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and CoastTV. More on the coastal storm that brings a little bit of snow, but major coastal impacts on Sunday. Your forecast coming up a little bit later on.
But first, looking out for seniors as more winter weather hits the coast. what local organizations did today when we're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
A coastal storm and extreme cold heading our way this weekend, with some of the region's most vulnerable people needing extra attention.
Coast TV's Nicole Richter shows us how local organizations are checking in on seniors to make sure that they stay safe.
Packing up food. Staff at the Cheer Center in Georgetown say they are ready and working to make sure elderly people stay safe, warm, and connected through this weekend's coastal storm. Becky Wheatley, CEO of Cheer, says they try to do as much as they can for the seniors.
As soon as we find out that there's a storm coming, we make sure that we check on all of our seniors and we send out meals ahead of time for the homebound.
Wheatley says the work doesn't stop once the storm arrives.
We do as much service as we can ahead of time, and then we check on the seniors throughout the storm, and then as soon as we can, when it's safe, we get back and help them out.
The Cheer Center coordinates with families, caregivers, and volunteers to reach out to seniors who live alone or have limited mobility. Sometimes a simple phone call or hot meal can make all the difference.
It makes you feel good that somebody knows that we're here and that they can lend a helping hand.
Staff members say preparation also means planning for the unexpected.
We always try to prepare in advance, and we always have backup food in case of anything, powder outages or anything like that.
From staff and volunteers to community members, it comes down to one thing: backing up caring with action as cold blankets the coast.
As the storm approaches, staff members are telling me that they're preparing days ahead in order to make sure that the seniors aren't left behind. In Georgetown, I'm Nicole Richter, Coast TV News.
Coming up next, Bob Try. He's in our First Alert Weather Center tracking bitter cold temperatures and that coastal storm that will impact Delmarva. Your full forecast after this.
Coldest day of the winter so far today. Temperatures about 25 degrees below average, only 20 in Georgetown. As I mentioned before, that's a record cold high for the date. 23 at Ocean City, 21 in Cambridge. Now we're watching this coastal storm for the weekend. The chances of snow are diminishing. There will be a sharp cutoff to the north and west of this system, maybe upwards of 3 inches or so. Southern Worcester and Accomack counties. The farther south you go, the more snow you'll get into. And the winds pick up, gusting 35 to 45 miles per hour, plus inland areas on Sunday, and over 50 at the coast. Batten down the hatches, and then coastal flooding, maybe minor tidal flooding Sunday through Monday with large waves. And then we've got a full moon on Monday, so we could see coastal flooding even a little higher. Now we do have a winter weather advisory in effect for the eastern shore, back through Salisbury, Girdletree, and Berlin as well for accumulating snow. Nothing into Delaware. And then farther south, we have a winter storm warning. This is where we could see some accumulating snow back through Accomack County, maybe several inches. And then the bullseye of the storm will be across North Carolina. Upwards of a foot of snow possible, especially towards the Outer Banks, as they have winter storm warnings there. Temperatures now are cold, around 17 to 19 degrees, 17 in Gumboro, 17 in Millsboro, and with the wind feeling like 6 in Lewis right now and 9 in Ocean City. So needless to say, bundle up. You have that risk of frostbite still for the next couple of days, feeling like sub-zero wind chills in the morning hours, Saturday and Sunday. And then conditions do improve as we go into early next week. We are seeing the clouds increasing right now. Here's a storm we're watching that will blow up into a huge ocean storm tomorrow. Now already spreading snow across the Tennessee Valley into North Carolina and into Virginia as well. So here's a European model, and a lot of these models continue to take this system farther to the south. Now the European model has it closest to the coast, bringing the snow into Delmarva with the heavier snow to the south, and then exiting as we go into Sunday morning. Here's a closer look. There's that period of snow on the European model into Westover, Chincoteague, maybe into Salisbury for a time Saturday night, and maybe poking into southern Delaware, and then it's offshore. Now we're looking at our in-house model, and same thing. It has that snow across southern parts of Delmarva, but it's keeping a lot of the snow off to our south and east, just largely keeping us cloudy as we go into your Sunday with that heavier snow just offshore. So it's really a close call. So we've been sinking these snow totals to the south and east. Really nothing, I don't think, across northern Sussex County, according to an inch around Seaford, Milton, Millsboro, and then from Ocean View down to Ocean Pines and Ocean City, about 1 to 3 inches, and that extends down towards Crisfield, and then in this purple color down near Chincoteague, around 3 to 5 inches, as we're looking at very strong winds, maybe gusting to 50 miles per hour at the coast, and that's going to build waves to about 8 to 12 feet on Sunday, causing beach erosion and maybe coastal flooding, where there is a coastal flood advisory into Sussex County. 8 degrees tonight, bitter cold, feeling like 0 to 5 below, and then cloudy skies, late day snow tomorrow, 24. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. We're looking at a code red as we go into Sunday. That is for beach erosion and strong winds, 26, and then we're looking at 33 on Groundhog Day, finally above freezing, and then into next week, mid to upper 30s, maybe another rain and snow chance as we head into Wednesday.
Thank you, Bob. A new phone scam hitting Delaware drivers. You can see it here. It's a text saying people need to pay outstanding traffic violations via link. The DMV says the DMV nor EasyPass, and neither will ever ask for payments over text or email.
Growth on the coast, we know it's a big issue. We have growing pains because, hey, everybody wants to live out here. But it comes at a cost. Roads, infrastructure, development, a loss of open space. All of that creates conflict and concerns.
We've looked into this for a very long time, and join us February 4th at 7 p.m. for a 1-hour special on it, The Price of Paradise, Growth on the Coast.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. The hard-hitting action is 24 hours away. It's Stellar Saturday in the ring. Stellar Fight 72 will be this weekend. 11 bouts with 2 main event matches being the title fights. Stellar Fight 72 will be at the Crown Sports Center for the first time ever in Fruitland, Maryland. Doors open at 5 p.m. and fights start at 6:30 p.m. And just getting underway, we've got a must-watch wrestling match on DSN. The 4-2 Sussex Tech hosts the 5-0 Laurel Bulldogs. The Ravens have the reigning state champ in the 126-pound weight class, Anthony Andrews. He's still on his state title defense. Tech needs Andrews and others to perform to give Laurel its first loss of the season. And you can catch the full breakdown of this wrestling match tonight on The Final Score at 10:30 p.m. And in NFL news, the Baltimore Ravens are hiring Declan Doyle as their offensive coordinator. In Baltimore, he will have play-calling abilities. He most recently was the offensive coordinator with the Chicago Bears. That'll for us. Have a great night, everybody.
We're still dealing with dangerous cold as we go through the evening hours. Cold weather advisory. This goes right into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures falling through the teens tonight. Single-digit wind chills. Could be single-digit actual temperatures in those. Feels like temperatures near 0. Call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone and stay ahead of the big storm this weekend. At least a lot of it missing us. Sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Increasing clouds tomorrow. I have a yellow alert for later in the day for the light snow, according to an inch in Sussex County. A code red Sunday for a lot of wind and beach erosion, coastal impacts, and then Groundhog Day 33. We're above freezing next week. Rain and snow possible as we head into Wednesday. Getting colder again next weekend. Maybe some snow as we head into Saturday. But then I think it does warm up the following week.
All right, thank you, Bob. And thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, for more local weather, maybe some of that warming up, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.